and you would see the planet
world
stop, come to a halt, and start turning back.
Yeah, and there's no explanation for why all the power of the universe pinpointed on Sunflower Sam. Hello everyone, welcome to Tank Talks. My name is Sunflower Sam.
And howdy, I'm Brandon.
Otherwise known as 5 different names in the Sunflower Sam series, right?
That's true.
So yeah, how you doing today, Brandon?
I'm doing good, Keith. I got this hat from Bass Pro Shops, bought this shirt from H&M, so I'm really
it's H&M, you're aware, right?
No, it's H&M.
Is there a different store?
Which one are you thinking about?
Like the hip young people store.
Yeah, H&M.
You said H&M.
That's H&M?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's H&M?
I'm certain that's definitely
Is
H&M.
that the Japanese place I'm thinking of, maybe?
I have no idea. I just know that store is Herman and Munster.
Herman and Munster. That's the one.
No, it's just H&M.
It's H&M.
I'm just trying to say that it was an H and an M sound.
I'll have to do some research after this.
I don't think you need to, because definitely just H&M is the store.
I'll have to type in some letters and see what happens with those letters.
You will. I was going to comment on your mesh ball cap because I enjoyed it. And I need one of those for when I'm cutting the grass.
It's a lot of styles right now because I've got some shoes, I got some pants, I got a shirt, and I got a hat.
Yeah, you had a button undone earlier before we started shooting, and now you buttoned it up. I'm a little disappointed.
I think with this shirt, you just go from like this is regular to a little too deep of a V. Like it's right there. It's nipple level.
Yep. Speaking of nipples, you crushed it. Speaking of nipples, we have a tank drink today, and it's milk. I wanted to make sure people knew that I wasn't just thinking about nipples. I wanted to bring out the tank drink.
I wasn't even trying to tie those in.
That was impressive. Impressive mistake. But I'm sorry I didn't let you announce the tank drink. You still can, but I wanted to say that it is milk. Yeah, I didn't want people just to think, oh, Keith really wants to talk about nipples.
It's new, it's Fairlife, Yup, Dairylicious white milk. It's ultra filtered, it's 1% low fat, and we're going to go ahead and
pop the top on this.
Prick it in.
So what you're saying for a tank drink of the week today is that we're just drinking milk.
This is ultra filtered milk.
Ultra filtered milk, but at the end of the day, it's just milk.
When you walk into your gas station, there's a lot of different milks up there. And
you're right.
The question that I have, and I think a lot of people have, is that if you pay, I think I paid $1.70, maybe $2 for this, that if you're paying that extra, is it worth it? Like cola. If you're going to get like some no-name brand cola versus Coca-Cola, like, is it worth it? No, you need to pay more for that.
Right.
Now, if you're paying for water, you probably get away with buying some cheaper water.
I think you are. Speaking of cheaper things, the battery that's currently in the camera is probably the cheapest of the ones, so we're going to have to replace it in 3, 2, 1. And we're back.
All right, you ready to clank this drink?
I think it's cool that we have clank and drink.
Mm-hmm. Ready to spank this drink?
Yeah, we can clank and spank. I'm not much of a milk guy. Boy, I will say that's some good milk, though.
Is that ultra filtered? You can taste.
You can taste the filter. You can taste that ultra filter.
It's got like a vanilla flavor to it, almost.
No, Brandon, that's just good milk.
What makes Fairlife Yup one of a kind is pure, fresh Fairlife ultra filtered milk. Our milk flows through soft filters that concentrates goodness, so it tastes rich and creamy. And I would say that it does taste rich and creamy.
I'm telling you, this is by far, as far as quality is concerned, this is our best tank drink. I've never had milk that made me just really want to enjoy it. You know, milk is always a vehicle for cereal. It's a cereal lubricant. It's always just something you put in something. I never drink a glass of milk, but if I had Fairlife...
If I was having a bad day, I would go pick this up. This is
comfort milk.
There's some we drink, like another one, that Mocha Monster, that's something that I drunk after taking me to pick one up. This is something I'd pick up again.
Brandon, this milk is like returning to the womb. This milk is truly comfort. I like to boil myself in this milk. But why are we here today?
We're here to dissect our Sunflower Sam series.
So this is a fitting beverage, because you know Sunflower Sam wakes up with a big old glass of milk.
Way over while he surveys the land.
while he surveys the land right behind the cow he pulled the milk from.
So to do this, instead of just having Gus ramble like we've been known to do with some of our videos, we laid out 4 questions, just kind of help us dissect and touch on parts of Sunflower Sam that you may have wondered about, or maybe we just really wanted to talk about because we really enjoyed filming or writing or whatever.
I'm trying to pay attention, Brandon. Gosh, this milk is so good.
It's good.
All right, yeah, let's continue.
First off, let's talk about Sunflower Sam's origin. And I think what's cool about this is that the Sunflower Sam we filmed is not the one we've discussed for 4 years now.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Sunflower Sam was born when did we start playing the WWE?
It was the Vacation Bible School, wasn't it? Like
the
first seeds were planted.
Brandon and I are very often at our church responsible. I'm now the head honcho, but we originally were just responsible for doing skits for Vacation Bible School because we had done. Excuse me, I have to burp some milk. We had done little skits before or whatever, and obviously we loved to entertain. So we were asked to do skits. The main character for that year's Bible school was a character called Sunflower Sam. He was just a farmer. He wasn't cool. He was just a dumb farmer. But for some reason, what made him a character I have to imagine that when I die, I will still remember Sunflower Sam. That will hopefully we've gotten to a point of creation that we can go back and talk about Sunflower Sam. But what made him into the character that he is, his true form, which is not the form that we got in the video, but his truest form, is because we started playing the WWE video game on the PlayStation 3 in our dorm room, which was sophomore year. We didn't play it freshman year. We started playing it, and so you could create a character. And I was like, and it must have been that very soon after that Bible school, because I was like, I want to make Sunflower Sam. But I want to make him cool. And there are like 3 things that make Sunflower Sam who he is. He is unmatched in strength. He is unmatched in strength. He is unmatched in his honor and chivalry. And he is unmatched in his patriotism. Those are like his 3 things. And he has a voice that kind of sounds like Stone Cold, but not quite the same. So we made a character who wore army combat boots and blue jeans. He wore a black tank top underneath a cut-off black and red flannel shirt because he's modest. He's a very staunch Christian man. He's very modest. He doesn't want to tempt anybody. He had an American flag tattoo on one arm and some other tattoo on his left arm. He wore a cross necklace. He was married. He wore a wedding ring. And on the back of his shirt was a giant American flag, and in the bottom right corner with the black letters that said Sam. And Sunflower Sam went through many storylines on the PlayStation 3 WWE game. His original beef was with a wrestler who came all the way from the Middle East to attack America via wrestling. Terror Lord that we created. Eventually he rose to the ranks. He had very many rivals such as Dolph Ziggler. Some other ones I don't remember.
Yeah.
Brett. I mean, there was a lot of people against Sunflower Sam, but he just became a character. The humor came from like how over the top good he was, and how over the top honorable and strong he was.
There was one scenario where like he had missed like an appointment, and so he punched like a clock, and like once his fist was inside the clock, he just started turning time back, and you would see the planet come to a halt and start turning back.
Yeah, and there's no explanation for why all the power of the universe pinpointed on Sunflower Sam, and we never explained that. But just that all through college, the last 3 years of college were. On any given day, you could find me and Brandon giggling and saying, yeah, and then he goes, oh yeah, here we go. He had his special moves, but that's the character. And I think that's the best description of him, is that he's unmatched in his goodness, unmatched in his strength, and unmatched in his patriotism. And that is Sunflower Sam.
And I think, like for a while, we wanted to do something with Sunflower Sam, but
of course,
like you touched on, whenever you have someone who is just over the top, has all these powers and all, it's hard to do them justice when you don't have $30 million to spend on a film.
We settled on we wanted to make it a cartoon. We wanted to make like a full-fledged cartoon about Sunflower Sam lives in a house, like a WWE housing with two other wrestlers, and then the premise would be either one relatively like a commentator or some normal newbie guy would come to live in this house with Sunflower Sam and these other two misfit wrestling characters, and that would be the premise of the show. And maybe one day, maybe we could get around to that, but yeah, that's what we landed on.
I think that kind of ties into the next question is why shoot it as a documentary? And there's been a couple, like, we love shooting documentary styles because you're able to do so much and you're able to tell a story. Whereas the way I explain it is with an average skit, we do it, whether it's something serious or whether it's just the stupidest thing, you have a window of 1.5 minutes to 5 minutes to let the audience know, okay, here's this weirdo, here's the ordinary person, here's why you should care, or here's why you should laugh. And so in 5 minutes or under, you're able to like meet these people, see what the problem is, see them try to resolve it. They can't resolve it, then you're out. Then you're like, oh, okay, that was funny. Whereas with this, you're able to like present all of the people. Then you're able to tell a story over time and be able to get people to invest in it.
Yeah, you can tell more than one story too in a whole video. Like there are parts where you say, "Oh yeah, there's one sentence where Sunflower Sam says I was going round and round or whatever." That's a whole video if you actually do the wrestling matches and everything. But instead, you're able to do a whole video in one sentence.
Yeah, and so there's a couple of ones we wanted to do, and eventually, I think maybe someone said something about arm wrestling, and it just kind of clicked, and I was like, we could do an arm wrestling one about Sunflower Sam.
Yeah.
And so we got to thinking about it, and we were able to say, all right, we'll shoot it this way. That way you're able to tell the story, like Keith said, without having to make 40 episodes. You're able to say, like, oh, this stuff happened. And as an audience, you're able to use your imagination. So, like, you ripping the car door off of the car, we don't have to sit there and get a car and figure out, okay, how do we shoot this? How do we take this door off? Instead, your mind, you're able to picture him ripping off the door.
And all you need to tell that story is someone who can relatively convincingly say that that's what he did. And then you, as an audience, you have no reason to think that he didn't do that. So, yeah, it's one of my favorite. We've only done 2 of these so far, really. That are just really, it's 6 people telling a story over the course of 4 episodes, but it's really some of my favorite ones that we've done, just because you can tell such a big story without, because we're a small channel, we can't do all this stuff the way we want to do it.
Why end that way? Because I had a few people ask why that ended. Yeah,
I know Ariel made a comment and she was concerned. It seemed like she was very concerned at the ending, like she didn't like it. Maybe not. So yeah, why did we end it that way, Brendan?
I think it's just when I was thinking what was going to be the funniest thing is just the idea of these 2 people are...
You should turn this off. Not bad noise. Okay. Our card filled up, so we had an error. But let's get back to it. Brandon, why did we end it that way?
When I was writing it, I figured that was probably the funniest way to end it, is just these 2 powers, evil and good, and just arm wrestling match being so powerful that like the laws of like science couldn't contain it.
I agree.
It was cool though afterwards, because when people started asking it, I started thinking of all the different endings, and I was like, there's so many different ways you can end that. Like a TV show, it's easy for you to point at someone and say, oh, that's a stupid way to end it or whatever. But then you start thinking, all right, well, how do you end Seinfeld? Or like, I think Lost is another one where people think, oh, that's stuck. What do you do to make it satisfying? Sure. And then you start realizing, oh, wow, there's hundreds of different ways you can end that.
We hope it was satisfying of an ending. When I was thinking about it, I preferred that ending to like an ending where what's his name? The villain. Name. What's his name again? I forgot.
Ajax.
Ajax, of course. An ending where he wins, I think, is not the best, because Sunflower Sam is really far more likable than him. Yeah. So you want Sunflower Sam to win. But an ending where Sunflower Sam wins is kind of like, oh, well, of course he won. There's no surprise.
Also, then you have to say, okay, he went arm wrestle for the next 20 years. Like, why would you go into hiding? Why would you not still be arm wrestle? Like, there has to be something that takes place to make, okay, this is why it ended. This is why he hasn't wanted to talk to people or whatever.
Maybe it's because I liked it so much. Maybe it's because I was in it or whatever. But I'm telling you, and I'm serious when I say that this is the only video so far that's made me almost tear up in the editing process, just because of the way the music came together at the end.
I think finally, too, the writing process.
Sure.
And I think from the very beginning, what was interesting is that, like, as a writer creating this world, I'm able to say, okay, here's how this character is, and no one can tell me I'm wrong because I've created them. Whereas with Sunflower Sam on my side, it's, okay, I need to look at what is the essence of who Sunflower Sam is, and then in your place, like, how is it having to say, here's this guy that's unbeatable, he can like turn back time, but now he's gonna be just kind of an average guy who like arm wrestles and has to have these flaws. Like, you have to start inserting flaws.
I liked it because I think it was a good way to do him, because no one likes a character that never loses, but that's part of Sunflower Sam's thing, is that, like, he only loses if he wants to lose. Yeah. But this Sunflower Sam is mortal, and I think that's the only way for us to do it. And I think it's just more. It's funnier. I think it's funnier to have this character that's super confident, and he should be, because he's super strong, and he is always winning. But also he can't always be winning. And I think it's fun. I think he did a good job of making him seem very confident, very capable, and being able to pull the door off of a car or whatever, but also he's a little bit more human in this one.
One thing I also enjoyed was that the facts that I threw out in there, like, half of them are just crazy, but the other half, like, some of the names we use and some of the locations are real places. Yeah. And I wanted to have something because I know I've always enjoyed, whenever I've listened to like musicians and their music, they'll have stuff and you listen to it. Like, real quick, for Me Without You, they've got a song called Elephant at the Docks. And you listen to it and it's about this elephant that, like, people are like, we must hang this elephant. Yeah. And then we're like, oh man, that's a crazy song. Then we start reading in the comments, people talking about this real thing that happened. Yeah. And we're like, what? And then we looked into it, and then it was a real thing where these people they thought it had broken the law, and so they had to kill an elephant, so they hung it. And I was like, well, that's crazy that you take this real thing, but now you start crafting the story around it. So
I think it's cool. Also, forgive us for gushing over our little Sunflower Sam series. We know it's not anything that changed the landscape of YouTube. We know, but it was a fun thing that we made, and we want to talk about what we liked about it so much. Brent, it sounded like you said that was the last question, but do you have anything else?
No, I think people loved it. They should comment on this video.
Yeah, if you like Sunflower Sam, leave us a comment. If you like this video, leave us a comment. Go back and watch Sunflower Sam if you haven't. It was fun. It'll take you like 15 minutes to go through it all.
I would say watch the series after every other word we say, and you'll really just, it'll be ingrained in you.
So after a couple of thousand watches, you'll really get it.
That'll help us out too.
Yeah, if you watched a couple times, 1,000 times, it will help us out. We really appreciate it. Thanks to all of you who are in it. Thanks to all of you who are watching this, who enjoy what we do. We should mention by now that if you really do like what we do, if you really enjoy this stuff and you want to help us make it better, go to patreon.com/tankmedianetwork. That's a place where you can help us out by donating maybe $1 a month or $2, $5 a month, or whatever it is you like to donate if you really enjoy what we do. But certainly not a requirement. Brandon, this is it. I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And Brandon, what do we say?
Thank you. We love you very much.